In our previous session, we learned why it's important to really work with startups. So now let's deep dive in why actually a POC and a pilot is important. Imagine this. You come to us to Plug and Play. You have a tech interest. You give us the task to look for the best startups out there. What we do? We will find them for you. Maybe we create you a shortlist with 10 startups, set up a meeting, you have the chance to one-on-one really meet the startups and you find a match. You maybe have a perfect match. And there's no really risk and it fits perfectly to your market and everything is good. Of course, you can go directly to implementation. So you don't have to go again and take 200 euros. You just go to implementation and you have a perfect match in partnership. But this is not, let's say, happening in the ideal world. For this, or how we call it, is like this engagement gap. Because finding a good partner or interest in a partner until implementation, there we have this engagement gap. And what we recommend, and don't take in the same order, is to do like a demo, a POC, a pilot, let's say a test phase, to validate if the technology of the startup works with your company. Or if your company actually have the right capabilities to work with the startup or like the right technology. Does the team fit together? Is the market really interested in this technology? So this engagement gap supports you to not, let's say, lose a lot of money because you don't spend it in the right way. Because you already say this technology it is, but at the end maybe it's not the right fit. So what is actually a pilot? Let's look at the definition. Beautiful. What are the 5 big benefits of a pilot or POC? So on one side, you test and learn. You test out technology, you test it out maybe in a safe space in your company, and you will see if this is something actually your company wants to work with, if there's something maybe you need, maybe something needs to be developed, but as well you learn so much about new technologies and maybe gaps in your company or on the startup side. Secondly is building relationships. So you will actually learn about the founders, the other companies. Your business unit as well will learn about actually their activities. And what we see out of our experience, a lot of amazing friendships came out of this kind of pilots. Of course, this is maybe not the goal of a pilot, but this is a long-term learning period. Buy-in. So doing a project, the business unit is really buy-in, but as well leadership can really see if a technology works out without spending so much money, and there will be buy-in maybe in the future to spend more money, a project team and other resources. Value. With low opportunity costs, you're actually creating a lot of value, testing out different things in a POC and a pilot. You were not having the opportunity if you would just bet on one thing and spend a lot of time and money on. And you lower the risk. So if you're not just bringing already the sensors in your big production and then maybe something goes wrong and you have to stop for a few days, this costs a lot of money. But you test it out maybe in a safe space, in a safe production hall, in a cloud before really bringing in the products, you minimize the risk and you can actually see who are the perfect partners for this. What is in for startups? We already talked about a lot of benefits for the corporate side. But as for a startup to testing out their technology in a POC is on one side really supportive to develop their own technology, but as well finding long-term partners. And if you're looking at a startup and they're looking for investments, a lot of investors actually checking out, does this technology already got tested out in a POC or a pilot? And this is a big benefit to raise more money, to develop more this technology. And for you, of course, like having this long-term partner. So to summarize it up, this session, a POC, a demo, a pilot supports you not to go fully risk, to test out different technologies in a safe environment and actually find the perfect match for your company without spending way too much money and resources on it.